welcome back to the Constitutionals podcast. I'm your host, Chad White. If you didn't know, this is the premier podcast for the website, cpluscomedy.com. Like I just said, it's a website. Go there. Episode 300 of the show. In reality, it's episode 336, based on all the extra episodes that are up on the, is what Pinecast is telling me. So here we go. We are close to the anniversary of the show. If you're watching the video of this podcast episode, you saw me very quickly reach down and react to having to say something at the top of the show. Here we are. I forgot. No, I didn't forget. This is what happened about 55 seconds ago. 55 seconds before pressing play on this theme song, I started the show and I hit the wrong theme song. The wrong thing. It was the Constitutionals theme. I'm here on the Spotify for Podcasters app on the iPad, which has I have a focus mode that has it's like a podcasting focus mode. And it brings up the two apps I use. That's it. I don't have this focus mode using it for anything else. And it brings up the clock, and it puts in a split screen right next to the Spotify for Podcasters app. And I have all the theme songs listed there, all the breaks, all that stuff. And I hit the wrong Constitutionals one, and I hit the one for the break. That's the issue. Anyway, here we are. It's been 13 days since I've done an episode of this show, mostly because I took the 4th of July off, and that's it. I didn't do an episode. I didn't do an episode a week. I also was hit on the bike. I was hit on a bike. I was riding my bike and a car hit me. I have scratches and bruises. I had to get stitches. It hurts. We're cool. So now I'm dealing with that. But here we are, recording this show, episode 300. I will stop talking about the number because that does not matter because I've done way more than all this. Anyway, so the reason why I was reacting to the thing was because I have like 10 ideas written down in the Notion. I only need five things to talk about. And I'm starting up News Time again. News Time's coming back. I promise you it's coming back. I had to shoot something. I didn't have to. I shot something for a friend's birthday, and I did the setup back here behind me on the kitchen table, and I thought, this is what I'm going to do. This is perfect. Yes, I had to use my phone as a camera, but other than that, I got the Zoom came off the computer. The iPad was the prompt. Oh, everything worked perfectly. Everything worked. But anyway, I set up for the comeback, which happens to be a Monday, the birthday of C Plus Comedy. And I have an idea for an episode. I have all the story written down. I don't have the story written down. I have all the notes written down. Anyway, I was moving two of the things that could be possible episodes because I'm not going to talk about them here because I think they're a little out of date. Well, one is ahead of schedule, but whatever, who cares? Anyway, News Time hopefully is coming back. We'll see. I went from being so sure to not being so sure. Let's get into what's been happening to me. I haven't gone to a movie in a couple of weeks. I've been trying to see Despicable Me 4. I'll have to wait. We'll see what happens. All right, let's get into the movies. To the thing. This comes from the New York Times, written by Ken Belson. NFL ordered to pay billions in Sunday ticket lawsuit. If you didn't hear, the NFL has been doing this thing with the Sunday ticket that's basically anti-consumer. It's a huge part of who the NFL is and how they make their money. They sell you these $300 packages, and yet you're still missing some out of market games and everything. I don't even like that, but they have to pay $5 billion in damages for artificially inflating the price of Sunday ticket. The verdict, which capped a month-long class action trial and almost a decade of legal wrangling, includes about $96 million in damages for the bars and restaurants that subscribe to the service and more than $4.6 billion for roughly 2.4 million residential subscribers. Damages in antitrust cases like this are tripled by the law, which means the league may have to pay more than $14 billion. The NFL is probably going to appeal the verdict. The civil case, kind of at the heart of the league's media distribution strategy, more than 90% of NFL games are shown on free over-the-air television in markets of the teams of the games. So that means, if you live in Detroit, you should be able to see a lot of Detroit Lions games. It's not always the case, but especially here in Atlanta, I don't see a lot of Falcons games on TV. The league's contracts with CBS, Fox, NBC, and other broadcasters generate more than $10 billion a year. Sunday Ticket costs you about $300 per season, and you get out-of-package games that are already shown by CBS and Fox, and they put them in this package, and you could access it, on DirecTV, and now it's YouTube TV. But plaintiffs argued that the price was deliberately inflated to limit the number of subscribers. I don't agree with that argument, but it was deliberately inflated. I don't know about the limit the number of subscribers thing. The plaintiff's lawyers pointed to an email to NFL executives from ESPN that said the cable sports network was willing to offer a Sunday Ticket for only $70 and sell single team packages. My God, that you would make more money, NFL. I don't see why they would want to. If the plaintiffs, let's take their argument and say like, yes, it was deliberately inflated to limit the number of subscribers. NFL, you'd make the same, if not more, if you sold single team package. Look at the NBA streaming thing or the MLB streaming thing. Both of those make a crap ton of money. The league spurned the offer and stuck with DirecTV until 2022 when it struck a deal with YouTube TV. During the trial, the league acknowledged that CBS and Fox would be hurt if Sunday Ticket attracted too many subscribers. I don't understand how that works. Because I would still watch games on CBS and Fox. I can watch Late Night with Seth Meyers or Law and Order on Peacock. I'm still watching NBC. I'm still watching Late Night with Seth Meyers on YouTube TV from NBC. I'm just fast forwarding. Same thing goes for Hulu. I could watch The Simpsons live on Fox, or I could watch it the next day on Hulu. I'd rather watch it live on Fox. I don't understand that. That is the plaintiffs were right and they got it correct. That's insane. That NFL will be like, it's gonna hurt CBS or Fox, and they pay and we make them pay a lot of money for our games. It's ridiculous. Anyway, let's hop on in over to this next story. I just moved another story up. The Hollywood Reporter, written by Alex Weapon. This is written by Alex Weapon. Streaming profits are tough to find. Niche movie and TV platforms see a way forward. We know the big streamers: Disney Plus, Netflix, Max, Hulu, Paramount Plus, Peacock, whatever, Apple TV Plus. But there are ones that are still surviving, that are doing well in their terms, because they're not comparing themselves to Netflix. It's the same vein that I have SiriusXM. I also pay for YouTube Music. YouTube Music is the place where I listen to my music. All right, and sometimes Apple Music if there's a sale or something. But YouTube Music is the main place I listen to my music. But that's the music that I chose, and sometimes I listen to the Discover. I try to discover new music there, but it's very difficult. But for SiriusXM, I believe, especially in this new iteration, I know a lot of people are mad at the app, but in this new iteration, SiriusXM has positioned itself as an additional subscription that people should have. When I get in the car, I don't want to touch my phone. I hook it up. I have Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, whatever. I do all that, but I don't want to mess around going, let me find an album. Let me find a song. I'm done with those days. I want to sit down in my car. I'm a 55-year-old man. I want to sit down in my car and I just want to scroll through SiriusXM, because I can do that with the flick of my thumb on the driving wheel. So it's a great addition to have. Yes, it's another. If you call them once a year, that's all you got to do. It's a great $8 a month. So I'm paying $21 a month to have access to all this music. And that's wonderful to me. And I know for a lot of people that they want to have their Spotify, they want to have their Apple Music, they want to have no one has YouTube Music, but they all want to be able to do that. The one person that has Pandora, Just get SiriusXM. It's all part of Pandora owns SiriusXM. Anyway, so for these streaming services, for these smaller streaming services, they're doing well. Look at Dropout, which used to be College Humor. Sam Reich has turned that into. I was watching a video from Forbes, I think, or Bloomberg, whatever. He sat down with one of those companies earlier this year to talk about what he did with Dropout, and it's amazing. Like there were more buyers for it, and if those buyers bought it, then who knows what it could have been. But for College Humor, and then he luckily was able to buy it, and now it's this creator-driven subscription service. Yes, you have to subscribe to it in order to watch the things, but there's a lot of great, funny people on there. And although I don't subscribe to it, and this is so mean, though those shows may not be my taste, I'm not an Adam Conover fan, but I do like I like the cut of that guy's jib. He stands up for writers. You know what? I may not think he's the funniest person. I may think he has an annoying voice. And I don't want to watch any of those Dropout shows, but I do think a lot of those people on those shows are very funny. It's not an insult. The Try Guys have their own subscription offerings, I guess. I don't know. I'm so hurt because that guy cheated on his wife. Remember that? People took that so personally, and then SNL did a great sketch about it, and people were mad at that. They're like, you shouldn't make fun. He was the wife guy, and you shouldn't make fun of him because he hurt both of those women. I'm like 3 sentences away from being Joe Rogan. But then there's also Crunchyroll. There's AMC Plus. There's Acorn TV. They're all doing their version of well, because people come to them for specific reasons. Look at AMC Plus. I love AMC Plus. I don't subscribe to it currently, but I love it because it brings in the world of AMC stuff, which it should be on. That stuff should be on Netflix or Hulu or whatever. But I just whatever. But it also has things like Shudder, which I would never subscribe to Shudder by itself. But Shudder is a bunch of what's it called? Horror movies. I love the horror movies that I would not be able to see. And if I have to pay $5 a month to watch this stuff, then great. It's got BBC America stuff, which includes Graham Norton. I love Graham Norton. It's got all the Walking Dead things. I don't watch The Walking Dead anymore, but you better believe that live channel with the Walking Dead universe, I'm on the AMC Plus right now, Walking Dead universe, I turned it on before. And you know what? I was interested. It's got IFC films. In a lot of ways, it's just got things that you couldn't catch anywhere else. So I really appreciate AMC Plus for what it is. Anyway. AMC's has 11.2 million subscribers across all of its niche streamers. But they're able to engage with fans very well. Here's what Sam Reich says about Dropout. I say this from a place of experience, having been in the ad sales game for over a decade in my time at IAC, and then also spending 5 years trying to sell television. This subscriptions is by far the best business model. I mean, I would say to any lower or middle class media company that this is something that they should consider. The limiting factor is also the thing that is keeping subscribers sticking around, even as they churn through bigger, broader offerings, which means people who have access to Netflix or to Disney Plus, they're more likely to cycle in and out of those. But if you go over to something like Dropout, if you go over to something like Crunchyroll, and you go, I'm an anime person, I just want to watch a bunch of anime, then you're gonna want to stay there more often than you are gonna want to stay with Max or Hulu or Paramount. I'm off of Paramount Plus right now. Yes, believe it or not, I have stopped the subscription. And yeah, I mean, you love your big shows, but when those things are over and Dropout is putting out another season of them playing a board game or whatever happens over at Dropout. That's not meant to be a tag, a mean attack on them or anything. I'm just saying that's the type of thing they do. I just Google Dropout. Let's see what they do. I remember VRV. That was a thing. They have shows called Thousandaires and Dimension 20. That's a board game. Smarty Pants. Make some noise. I don't know any of that is. But you know what? Good for them. I see some people I know. I'm never going to watch a show called Actually. I would never do that. These niche streamers can survive in a world where big name streamers are the ones getting the constant attention. Now, this is speaking of survival. I want to pivot over to Redbox. Is this the same article? It's Deadline. Okay, anyway. This is from Dade Hayes over at Deadline. Troubled Redbox parent chicken soup for the soul. Entertainment is nearly a week late paying employees. Medical benefits also cut. So this is late June. Chicken Soup for the Soul purchased Redbox a couple of years ago. If you know Chicken Soup for the Soul, they have those books. And Redbox, they rent out DVDs if you're standing outside of a Walgreens or a CVS. There was a point in earlier a couple weeks ago in June, they were unable to pay anybody. They were like I said, weeks late on paying people, and as it turns out, they are going through bankruptcy. Dade Hayes also reports that from Deadline, Redbox owner Chicken Soup for the Soul to liquidate in Chapter 7 bankruptcy shift, workforce of 1,000 to be let go, and 24,000 kiosks to shut down. They were going to file Chapter 11 bankruptcy, but now they're doing Chapter 7, which means that they can sell everything. Chapter 11 meant that they could restructure everything. This is unfortunate. Like Blockbuster, like Hollywood Video, Redbox was a great way to just pay for a cheap movie for a couple of days. I've seen a couple of smarmy articles like it's thank goodness, this is not verbatim, but like thank goodness Redbox is going away. No, I mean it's still a great way to watch things. Not everybody wants to subscribe to Netflix or to Hulu, and a lot of times now in today's world, it costs $20 to rent Fall Guy. It costs $20 to rent. And this is I'm going to say a movie that I know for a fact is available on Max right now, but it costs $20 to $8 to rent Godzilla vs. Kong, Godzilla Cross Kong. Brave New World, or whatever that movie's called. I like that movie. It's a great movie. Millie Bobby Brown was not in it, and I think it's fantastic. I think that they, but what's his name? The black guy. What's his name? Oh God, he was in it, and he slowed down the movie still. Any Hoosers. But there's still value in Redbox. There's one near me. Yeah, there's one. There's one near me that I can think of. That's across the street from Pond City Market here in Atlanta, Georgia. I love being able to go. I haven't gone to Redbox in a couple of years, but I love going to Redbox and getting a movie for $2 or $3, how much it is, and then watching it. That's how I saw Creed. I watched Creed 3 times in one night, 3 or 4 times in one night. Yeah, watched it once. And then I was going to bed, and I was like, I'll watch it while I'm going to bed. And then I woke up in the morning, and I was like, let me watch it one more time before I return this movie. The company, sagging under the weight of nearly $1 billion in debt and a tall stack of unpaid bills, filed for bankruptcy on June 29th. During bankruptcy court proceedings, it secured a, quote, debtor in possession loan of $8 million designed to help it resume paying workers after nearly a month of no paychecks and also restore their medical benefits. Oof. So this liquidation thing, it could mean that Redbox, they're shutting down all the kiosks. It could mean that somebody's going to come in and buy it up. I doubt that's going to happen. I also wonder what's going to happen to it's the physical offerings. Is Crackle gone too? I accidentally went down to the comment section. Crackle's not gone. Yeah, Crackle's still here. Ugh, gross. I hate Crackle. I do not like Crackle at all. It's the worst out of every streaming service. Tubi and Crackle, I hate them both. There's still some utility in Redbox, and because not everybody has the internet to stream or anything, but they also Redbox was trying to become another streaming platform. It has an on-demand section, and it also has a thing called Redbox Plus. Oh well, you can't do anything anymore. Oh no. Oh, all of the website is dead. That's crazy. And you can also watch things for free, and there's on demand. I could never see they did not evolve quick enough. There wasn't a soon enough way for them to get better. And 10 years ago, a couple of years ago, apparently they moved away from games. I loved renting games through Redbox, which was like the best way. You pay what, $3 or $7, something like that, to have it for 3 days, something like that. $7 it might have been, but they should have evolved sooner. They should have teamed up with AMC, the theater chain. They should have teamed up with Netflix. They should have teamed up with people that can help them expand their imprint. You know, if Netflix is getting rid of the DVD section years ago, if they were thinking about that, they should have gone to Redbox, or Redbox should have gone into Netflix. Because I remember there's a point where Redbox was trying to buy the DVD part of Netflix, but they should have made moves sooner in order to evolve sooner. But now Redbox is just this husk. I love using the word husk. And it's going the way of the dinosaur. There's no more ways to rent movies unless you have a local chain here or a local business here. There's local businesses in Atlanta, or there's one at least I can think of. Videodrome. It's up the street from me. Not up the street. It's a long walk, but a short bike ride, even shorter car ride, less than 5 minutes. And I like the fact that you don't have to rely on streaming services. You could go there. And people, it's so funny. If I have people over at my apartment and they see that there's a big bookshelf and it's just filled to the brim with DVDs and Blu-rays and 4Ks and TV shows, and people go, "Who has DVDs anymore?" Like me. I love having this stuff. It's what I collect. It's great. I still buy movies. I have Wall-E Criterion. It's a great purchase. I got the Batman Nolan trilogy, the Nolan Batman trilogy in 4K. Still looking for the Superman collection in 4K at a reasonable price. Man, but to be able to go to a place like Videodrome and then look at their selection of DVDs and Blu-rays, and I'm sure they have VHSs as well. But like, they have new stuff, they have old stuff, and if you want something, you go, "Hey, can you get?" I can't think of something. I can't think of something fast enough. I can't think of a movie fast enough. Can you get Fall Guy? Can you get Fall Guy so I could rent it? And they'll be like, "Sure, we'll get Fall Guy." And then they get it, and then you go, "Great." And I'm gonna have this for a couple of days. I'm gonna watch the movie, and then I'm gonna return it. I still think it's a viable business model. People buy vintage clothing. Why, people buy vintage items. This is the most expensive thing I want. This is very true. And I want it, and I'll be so proud of the day I buy it. An Eames lounge chair. They've made these for the past, I don't know, like 70, 80, 100 years. I don't know. But once you see it, I'm talking about. Google Eames lounge chair. I know I've priced out the one I want, and it costs about $7,300 some odd dollars. I want that. It's the same formula. They've been using the same wood, the same leather, the same all that stuff. I want it. And when I buy it, it's going to last a lifetime. One time I was watching a tour of Pierce Brosnan's one of his homes. I think it was on Architectural Digest on YouTube. I don't know. But anyway, I was watching it. And in one of his closets, he had 2 of those chairs. And I just went, God. And it comes with an ottoman, too. And I was just so mad. I was like, how dare he? And they're just sitting there. You're just going to get dressed looking at those. The one thing, though, my one concern about owning that is, and you better believe I will get it insured. I will find a way to get insured. My iPad's insured. The Mac is insured. My phone is insured. And that's helped me out immensely. Because you know what? I didn't record. This is a little side tangent. I didn't record 2 weeks ago, or at the end of that record 2 weeks ago. When I charge the iPad, I use the Steam Deck, the charger for the Steam Deck, and that is plugged up right next to that bookshelf with all the DVDs on it, the Blu-rays on it. And so I had the iPad sitting on that bookshelf, which is ill-advised, but I've been doing it ever since I've gotten the Steam Deck and I've kept the charger over there. And this has never happened before. I pulled the iPad off, and I misjudged the charger area. I pulled the iPad off, and it fell off the charger. Boom, hits the ground. It's fine. The Apple Pencil falls off the iPad, off the bookshelf, directly on the tip, and it just impales itself. So now the tip is stuck inside, and I spend a long time on that Friday night trying to pull out the tip. And then I go, okay, maybe I use all these different tools. Anyway, I dug it deeper in there. And then I had to use my Apple Care to go get this new pen. But it costs $30 as opposed to buying a new pen, which would cost $230, whatever. So anyway, just saying, people say that insurance is stupid and don't pay for it. I would rather pay in total, I think I pay between the phone, the iPad, and the Mac. I think I pay roughly like $15 a month. I would rather do that than pay, or like it's probably like 20 because it's 2 Apple Care products and then the Samsung is under a different brand. I'd rather pay that $20 a month and I had to get my phone screen fixed. I got a huge crack fixed. I'd rather do all that. I'd rather pay all that money per year per month than have to deal with buying a new phone, buying a new iPad, buying a new Mac, buying a new Apple Pencil. Because I would never have that money at this point. Anyway, I miss Redbox. Listen, if you like what you heard here, head to the website, cpluscomedy.com, where I talk to famous people. News Time is coming back. I promise you that. I don't know when. Hopefully August 11th, or 12th, rather. August 12th, an episode is planned. It is about Paramount. It's about Paramount being bought by Skydance, and I want to do a whole big thing. Truly the one thing stopping me is the theme song, and I have to come up with that, and I spent 30 minutes yesterday trying to make a theme song in GarageBand. So anyway, we got that coming. If you want to see a video version of this show, youtube.com/C+comedy, where you can see me sitting in my Pete Holmes not feeling it shirt. You can also watch video versions of the other shows, Late Night Lately, the Late Night Talk Show, Late Night Show, and LinkedIn Logs, which is the Jobs podcast. You can subscribe to those wherever you get your podcasts. You can also see me talk to famous people under the interviews as well. Follow us on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook @C+comedy. Follow me on those platforms @ChadBlackWhite. And go to the website, please. I pay a lot of money for it every single month. And the domains are being renewed. All right, I'm done talking. Bye.